about the diversity that technology can bring to the organisation, right? I don't mean the people, I don't mean which methodology we're focusing on, but actually technology being at the heart of the business of what we do. Now, we've had this question in another guise before, where we've basically said, should technology have a seat at the board table, right? Are we important enough to be at the board table, or should we just be a servant to the business? And I think when we were discussing this earlier on, one of you, I think it was Paul, gave an example of, well, look where Amazon were. They were an online book retailer, right? And now they're a tech giant, yeah? We're not all going to be on that same journey. And if I speak to my stakeholders and I say product, they think wine. And wine is at the core of our business, and we wouldn't exist. So I sort of sit in my corner going, I'm just here to help these guys sell wine, right? But day in, day out, I think the technology is leading our business, and it's enabling us to be a wine business and to offer the proposition that we have, yeah? I'm just waffling until I get what the question is. So basically, how important is technology? Where should it be in the organisation? Should we as technologists be turning up and challenging the business strategy, the proposition, how we go about things? And is it important, or should we just serve? Go on, Mark.
Go on. So for me, and we've talked about this before, there's 50% of my job that I feel that technology is to meet in with the business strategy. So the business say, right, we want to go and do this, we want to build a factory, right, go and make it work, Mark. And that's 50% of my job. But there's another part of my job really as well, which is working with the teams and coming up with new ideas. Like Innocent at the moment, they don't do any e-commerce. And you talk to people and say, well, why Innocent do any e-commerce? And it's like, oh, it's only small volumes and stuff. But I bring it to them and say, well, actually, you don't need to actually do it yourself. You could do it through Amazon. There's so many different portals out there that you can work with. And there's so many other companies out there that you can partner with that do this delivery. There's another one about data. It's like, guys, you should be because we constantly experiment in fruit towers, which is our crazy office. But there's different drinks there, and we all try it. But you can get that out in the wild. You can get that out to real drinkers, and you can get the data back of what people think and which ones they pick and which ones they want. But yeah, it's bringing those ideas to the business and going, oh, have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? Because you can't just service the business. You're part of making them successful, and you've got to bring those ideas from the technology side as well.
Great. Victor, what do you think?
Well, I think as well, like IT has like a serving purpose, right? But at the same time, you by serving the business doesn't mean that you are a yes man, right? Or a yes person, if you want so. I think like technology needs and should be at the table of the business discussion, and not only to challenge product, not only to the head of product like, no, we are not doing that because it's crazy. It should be involved with marketing, with business strategy, with social, with all the channels, because technology is, for the good or the bad, we have too many ideas. And branching out, I think, is like not only healthy for everyone to be able to do different things, but also because by branching out and bringing those ideas, you can discover new avenues of business. At the end of the day, I talk a lot about people and so on, but a lot of my role is as well business, right? So I think like tech, especially in tech, in companies that they are not defined as tech, but they have a heavy tech component, they should be there, and they should be challenging, they should be commenting, they should be sharing, and going back to customers, to the internal teams, and putting that innovative thinking to all these old channels as well, because sometimes you find that, I find personally, and don't get me wrong, I love marketing, but I find marketing that is not my cup of tea. I find it like it's a lot of like creative thinking, but really I see a pattern of repetition, and it's like, why you don't try this? And that open conversation with the head of marketing, we have like crazy ideas, and we have like few of them in the making. So I think that technology can branch out, can embed themselves into other side of the business, but it's a two-way avenue. If you do that, you have to be open for that people coming back to you and asking back. So
yeah, no, that's definitely a challenge. If you go into people's space, they want to come into yours, right? Yeah. So Vicky, technology is at the core of your business, right? So when you do what Victor says and you go and start, giving ideas to the marketing department and the finance team and stuff like that, do they get a bit narky with you or what?
Well, I think it's important to be a collaborative sort of person at that table. So it goes both ways, as Victor says. So I think if you're taking ideas to a specific department, you have to be respectful that they are the experts, and you have to be there to sort of feed in your perspective, feed in the idea, but then work together to get the best outcome for the company. So I absolutely, if any company considers themselves to be investing in technology or to have any sort of strategic advantage from technology, technology needs to be at the table, because you need to be feeding the technology perspective into your business plan, into your product roadmap, whatever it might be. And it goes the other way. As a technology leader, you need to know your business inside out to run your team, to be putting that vision into your team, to make sure they understand what they're building, why they're building it, and to steer that as well. So I think it goes both ways on that front.
Well, that's good. I mean, I think most of our audience will agree with that. I think, you know, we want to be at the table. At the same time, we want to be respected while we're at the table. We want people to listen to us when we're experts, but we have to pay that back and listen to other people who are experts as well. Paul, finishing with you on this question. Are you deep down in the basement and they don't let you out to talk to real people, or what?
Many of them would like to do
Okay,
that,
yeah.
because I'm pretty gobby. I truly, passionately believe technologists belong in and across the business, and you can build products and you can grow, but unless you really want to transform and scale your business, the technologists, to Vicky's point, they have to understand the business, and that's how you improve. We work in highly regulated markets where we're not allowed in certain jurisdictions to do things like cloud. There is nobody from a product or compliance or regulatory background that's going to change that dynamic apart from a technologist who understands the technicalities of what you can and can't do. We are working with, myself and my colleague from operations, we're working with regulators around the world and Amazon to change Amazon's business model and US, Wire Act in the US, right? Nobody else is going to do that. That's how we change what we do. That's how Amazon became Amazon and are now a truly transformational technology company that we use, right? So I always encourage my team, and I always say to them, to Vicky's point, it's not good enough to be good at tech. You really have to know the industry, the domain, and go beyond. And I always talk about crossing boundaries. It's not just technologists going one way, it's product managers, it's delivery managers. Forget the boundaries, forget the silos, solve problems. We look for problem solvers. I'm a problem solver, and I expect all of my team to be that. Sorry if I evangelize, this is what my team have to put up with every day. Literally, I'm saying to them and to everybody else's team, no. It's not, it's so-and-so's job, and now this is a project management job. No, it's us. We are all problem solvers. Technologists are key to what we do. We do have to play a part, but we need to drive the strategy as well. It's not just down to product. No product manager is going to tell me what our strategy is. My ELT don't even tell me what. I input into that as much as they do, because I know my industry as well as they do. I contribute, my team contribute to how we move forward, and that's what transforms things, and that's where I think us as technology leaders really make a difference. And if you look at all the people who made a difference with technology leaders, it wasn't because they were just sitting at their computer waiting for a product to tell them what to do, or the CEO or anybody else. They were game changers, and that's the thing we talk about in our company. That's what we look for, game changers, problem solvers. Don't look at the boundaries, work across those boundaries, just come back and tell me when the problem's solved. I don't care who or how you get it done, and that's the ethos that I think I try and encourage in my teams. They don't always like it, but once we get the sense of achievement and understanding, people grow massively from saying, wow, I'm doing stuff that I didn't actually think was my job or remit or understand. They grow as individuals, they become leaders. You can't be a leader if you're only programming Java, C, I've got a Java certification. Whoopie-doo, right? That's not going to change the world. That's not going to get you to be a team lead, a development manager, head of engineering, whatever you want to be. You've got to understand the business.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Sorry.
Paul's interviewing for my job. I think we have a number of things there, and crossing the boundaries, I like that. It's a two-way street, I like that. One of the things that I always think about as I've developed my career and I help other people and coach other people to develop their is I think about your shape, and I always think about me being T-shaped. So my core is and always has been technology, right? That's my solid T in the middle. But my arms stretch out everywhere. And when I joined Naked Wines, my open introduction to the whole company globally was like, I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to be looking at everything and taking an interest. And I think, that took a little bit of a culture shock for people. They were like, aren't you just the tech team who sit in the corner? And I think if you want to advance, if you want to be successful, and we're scary people, technology people, right? We're scary people because we have all of the data, all of the systems, and we know the passwords, right? So we're scary people, and people do generally think, well, I do marketing and I'm an expert in that, but I don't know one end of a computer from another. So we have to demystify that. We have to, I think, make that first step. So it is a two-way street, but we've got to open the street. That's my view. That's what I've done, and it stood me in good stead. Can we give a round of applause for the panel?